Hey guys, it's Hyena Armory here, and today we're just going to do a little follow-up video on the 5KU stock. So, some of the things that I was finding out over the past few months is that the Atlas stock that I was saying this was, they're pretty much just rebranded 5KU stocks. All they do is, it seems like they just get them, buy some 5KU stocks, put them in their own packaging, and then just ship them off saying that they're pretty much theirs. And the only reason why I say that is because the box that I got this one in uh, literally was almost like an inverted box with 5KU on the inside. I didn't think much of it at the time, but doing some more research, that's what it seems like that's what they're doing. Um, Now, as for the PT5 stock itself, it's holding up quite well. This thing's in the way, sadly. But I fixed a lot of the wobble, so now it's only really the stock itself is wobbling, which can easily be fixed by screwing in that screw more, which I'm going to do a little bit later. But everything else is holding up fine. I did add an extra longer screw that puts more friction. If I open it up, you can actually see it's slightly out. It's not fully flush. And what that does is it removes a lot of the main wobble in the stock. So small little fixes on a $100 stock is not that big of a deal to me. Putting some Vibrotite on that will definitely fix that issue. Now, I'm getting a lot of questions about the PT5 and more specifically, actually, the PT1 stocks. People are asking about the hinge pins. What size hinge pin does it use? Because anyone that's been in the AK world long enough knows that the hinge mechanism, there's two pin sizes. There's a 4.5 and a 5.5 pin. From my understanding, in the airsoft world, they standardized on a 5 millimeter pin, so it's in between 4.5 and 5.5. But from my understanding as well is that the two model AKs that you can find the 5KU stocks for are SEMA and ENL. And doing some extra research, I'm finding out that they're not exactly 5 millimeter pins. SEMA AKs tend to run a little bit thinner. They're more along the lines of a 5.5, I'm sorry, a 4.5 pin, while ENL tend to run a little bit bigger, and they're more closer to the 5.5. So if you're trying to find a PT1 stock to fit your AK, well, if you have a 4.5, try going towards the SEMA stocks. And if you have a one that's more of a 5.5, go more along the lines of a ENL. From my understanding is a lot of the people that are buying the ENL stocks are they're fitting better on the 5.5s versus the ones dedicated more towards SEMA. And another reason why I was able to, I found out that Atlas is pretty much just reboxing up a bunch of 5KU stocks is that people are buying the ENL Atlas stocks, and the pin or the hinge itself, where the pin slides into, some are very loose and some are very tight, which will then go towards how 5KU has two different variations of the stock for the SEMA and the ENLs. And people are complaining, saying that the stocks are, the hinge pin on the stock is too tight on some of their rifles. Like they have an ENL, they buy the stock that says ENL from Atlas, and then it's too tight of a fit. But then they go to the 5KU stock that says ENL and it fits perfectly. Now, I know this is not an airsoft gun. It is a AK-74. I have a lot of videos of me shooting this thing. So why does that matter? Well, you might want to, if you're wanting to get one of those type of stocks, you might want to know which variation of airsoft stock you want to get. So again, SEMAs tend to be closer to the 4.5 hinge pin versus ENL, which does more closely to the 5.5 pin. Now, as for the PT5 itself, the PT1 and PT5, the only differences between the two is that, as you can tell by this stock, it is a fixed trunnion and not a folding trunnion. So it has this big, bulky stock extension pretty much. Other than that, these work identical to the PT1s. So if you have, or if you're wanting to get a PT1, just look at some of the videos that are out there on the PT5 stocks. They all function the same, or if you've done research on Zenecos, they're identical to the Zenecos. It is made from machined aluminum. I'm not 100% sure what Zeneco is. Some of the websites that I've seen that sell actual Zeneco products say that it's made from milled aluminum, and some of them say they're made from milled steel. So even the people that sell Zeneco don't even know what it's actually made out of. And right now, due to sanctions on Russia, you're paying $1,000 for a PT5. You're paying $1,000 for a PT1 stock, and you have these clones that are very much, look at that wobble. Yeah, I gotta fix that. They're very much identical to them. Some of the testing that I have come across comparing these to the actual Zeneco stuff is that these are holding up just as much as the actual Zeneco stuff. Don't look at mine and say, oh no, it's not. I don't like going the extra mile and putting the extra Vibro-Tight and thread lockers on there. I mean, just on this alpha system alone, none of these screws have Vibro-Tight or thread locker or anything on them. And it's going to bite me on the butt eventually, but right now it hasn't. And thankfully, none of these screws of any kind have walked, except for this guy. I did replace the washers. That's the reason why the butt pad on the stock popped off, was that the washers that the stock came with, mine were smaller than the screws, so they didn't hold in the screws in the butt pad, and they just kind of popped through the butt pad. So I replaced them with bigger washers, as you can tell. So that's not going to happen. I do need to screw them down a little bit more, unless that wobbliness is from this actual one little screw. But yeah, just little things that I have done to this rifle. I do have an aim point gold dot. This right here is actual Zeneco charging handle. It is a RP1. I have to look at that backwards on the camera. Yeah, RP1 charging handle, which fits very well on this Bulgarian AK 74. I do have a 10-inch Alpha handguard and then the Alpha desk cover. It is holding up zero pretty well, so that's good. Other than that, yeah, this is the small 10-minute long video of information about this little stock. I know I tend to ramble a lot, so it's probably gonna be cut down a lot more. But yeah, if you want a more detailed video on the rifle itself and why I did some of the decisions that I made when putting this rifle together, just leave it in the comments below, and I'll make a whole video dedicated to that. Sorry for the long wait in videos, guys. Life gets busy. I'm not able to just sit down, or in this case, stand up and put on all this cool looking gear and record a video for y'all. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, hit like. If you didn't, hit dislike. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. It's your life. Do what you want to do. But yeah, see you guys later.